Good morning. Good morning. Today we're checking in on the Aura coin. Disappointing, kind of had a large capitulation occurring here at the end. And in seeing this, where we were looking for our breakout to the upside, there's a good bad associated with it. So we had identified, or I had identified this as being a 5-wave impulse with a fifth here, right? So you had your zoomed in view, but there's no other way to adjust this now without I had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves to the upside with this wave 4 not crossing here. But now that this has capitulated and lost this low, it's a good bad thing. Good news is that this 5-wave move no longer is there, and what we're actually looking at is the ABC. So pretty subtle. I mean, I thought I had ultimately seen this as a 5-wave, so my apologies for that miscount there. The importance of this kind of ultimately is identifying the levels of entry at which you want to buy. So that's kind of what I'm looking at, and now we can ultimately take some of these adjustments and these counts, and we can say, okay, well, now we're actually looking at a larger 5-wave move to the downside for this, and then we have an ABC. And the good news is that this now is working out the 5 waves and finishing up its leg, and we can now basically say that this is getting close to wrapping up, and this no longer is a larger corrective move, but now a completion of an ABC, just like XRP, right? So XRP just did the same kind of stuff where it was messing with everybody. So now with this larger ABC going into play here, we have some adjustments to our count. So the good bad is that we have still plenty of more upside. So assuming that was the low, let's just make that assumption now. We'll measure it here in just a few moments. But with the RSI working on the 3-day, giving us this kind of messing with everybody like it does before it pops off, you have the target level for what we're aiming for is actually increased. So if we move this down here and we end up having this pullback, we actually get a larger percentage upside is how it works, but a lower overall market cap target from its current price action. So that's basically the setup now. I'm still seeing this as an ABC, and just think, your larger XRP price action where it's doing an ABC after the impulse for a wave 1, wave 2, and then this next wave 3 should technically break out above and beyond the 1618. So if we do make it up into this market cap region up here, we would be looking at Aura coin still being able to produce a potential massive upside as XRP and the overall market of memes returns, and we're able to see things start popping off. So that's basically what's changed in this morning's update. I was reading that as a 5-wave move. It has now clearly shown itself that it was not, but the importance of just making sure that you buy towards the bottom of a range level is always important, because mid-ranges ultimately result in this price action where you have inefficiencies in markets where you have a 5-3-5 that's just mislabeled and ultimately plays out to being just the mid-range. So good news, but I did buy some, so I am in the market for buying at these levels. I mean, we're at 180k market cap. It doesn't take much to run these things, and any type of move to back up here isn't really unlikely based off of how strong it's been playing out here for this larger ABC. Even this is very controlled, and you can just see how much overlap as demand is stepping in to take and purchase this asset. So, and we're still sitting right on top of this level that we would have thought we would have, which is basically right there. So just a double tap on that level there. All right, hopefully that's helpful, and we'll check in tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching.